Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream, and hello raiders, welcome, welcome. My name is City, and I'm the DM of this campaign, Nexus, Forlorn Legacy. I know it's been a while since we've last played. Life is a heckin' heck when you're in your 30s, but here we are, we're here, we're queer, let's get traumatized. So as is tradition, we're going to be doing round the table introductions before a brief session recap, and we jump right into the action. So first off, we have B.
Hello everyone. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I'm a taxidermy jackalope brought to life by love and slightly mad science. I do variety streams, usually with a focus on roguelikes, digital artwork, and RPGs, so if those interest you, swing by sometime. I currently run a campaign in the setting and the system of Deadlands, so if you like alt history, some steampunk, a whole lot of gothic horror and Wild West nonsense, then check it out sometime. And I here am going to be playing as Feng Chen Wong, the Hobgoblin Artificer, and the soul healer in this team, who is definitely not feeling a little bit of a burden with that.
I have 10 good berries.
Do not worry. You have acquired an additional healer.
I have 10 good berries.
You also have layout hands. Thank you, B. Also, watch Deadlands, because I play the whitest woman ever.
Just because you, an insane inbred occultist, went to a city square filled with black people and asked them to tell you what voodoo was.
Oh my god.
It's not racist in context. It's not
Guys,
racist.
please watch Deadlands.
It was a perfectly logical thing in context.
It is setting appropriate too, to be fair.
Yeah. But thank you, B. Next up we got Meris.
Yes, hello, I am Meris Aurum. I am a Celestial Dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling book reading streams where we talk about all things books and literature and media literacy. I also run my own D&D campaign on the side, called The Trial of Hearts. It is an ode to all things romantic fantasy, so if you like drama and political intrigue and a heavy dosage of smooch and the homies, definitely check it out. But while I am here, I play Soleil, the party's hot pink tiefling himbo werewolf, who I'm really excited for this session. He's gonna go through it. It's gonna be great. So
Yeah, this is gonna be a real rough session for your boy Soleil. Next up we got Sif.
That's me. Hi. I'm Sif _ VTuber, living suit of armor. I play games. I do art. In the middle of my first Let's Play with my friend Zerk. I'm working on updating this Nafisa art so it doesn't look like a sketch. And I'm speaking of Nafisa art, I am in fact playing Nafisa. Back again as your favorite little stone dragon-born Drake Warden with her pet dog Nix. Very excited to be back. I love you guys.
Thank you, Sif. And last but never least, we have Lily.
Hello everyone, my name is Lily. I am an artist that draws a lot of D&D stuff, as well as I run my very own campaign, Mistwalker Spectrum Fraternity. For some reason my brain just went Nexus Forlorn Legacy. I was like, that's not right.
I run that campaign.
Yeah,
it's my campaign
it's
now.
my campaign.
All right, Lily, I'll hand you my notes.
No, please. We'll swap notes. But yeah, Mistwalker Spectrum Eternity is a lovely post-apocalyptic game with a lot of gay people and a lot of yearning. But as for tonight, I play Aurora, the sheep scribes wizard, sheep satyr scribes wizard, and also currently going through it, but kind of coming out of it. But we'll see how out of it she is by the end of this next bit.
Cracks knuckles. Thank you, Lily. Previously on Nexus Forlorn Legacy, our heroes started off with their attempt at a diplomatic meeting with one of the rival gangs in the city of Signaviste, where they have become embroiled because of connections in a favor called from Soleil by the mob boss of the Shrouded Assembly criminal organization, known as Laszlo Kovac, where he needs help because things got really bad there because of Soleil murdering an archwizard and his files getting released of all the misdeeds of people around him. And so, because of the current warring states of the city and the attempted friendship pacifist ending that Nafisa is always trying to pull off, they tried to extend a diplomatic olive branch to the goblinoid faction of the Roshan Dai of Clan Song, specifically meeting with their representative leader, the Shinyen Volai Song, a hobgoblin woman, where in an exchange where they talked about the death of her son at the hands of Laszlo, she eventually, through the absolute, heart-opening pleading of Nafisa, accepted that maybe more death is not the solution, and that the party is currently working for an irredeemable monster who has killed both her husband and now 2 of her sons, and that she will, for at least the time being, abstain from further attacks on Laszlo's people. Additionally, Soleil went to go talk to Laszlo about everything, and before that, Nafisa, opened up her heart to Soleil and told him that he's not, a monster, despite his feelings to the contrary, as he tries to protect the party from the horrible things that he does and who he is, trying to fill him full of the power of love and friendship. Soleil then learned the other side of the story about what happened to Volai's family from Laszlo, and it had to do with her first son that he killed, basically trying to do a car bomb on Laszlo and instead injuring his daughters on leaving school. So the stories are not quite as straightforward as either side makes it out to be. Meanwhile, Aurora brought Lunys along, everybody's favorite dragon paladin, to go do a intelligence gathering / graffiti campaign in the bandit army portion of the city known as the Midnight Marauders. Their attempt at infiltration did not go well because Lunys is a giant, lightning rod of ridiculousness, and as some militia tried to shake them down, it ended up escalating where Aurora was able to bail them out, but it cost some spell slots to make them invisible as they pieced out. They then decided to take a more direct form of infiltration as they gathered intelligence about what was going on with the trusty Eustace and Clementine personas. Then Aurora dismissed Lunys so that she could do her graffiti campaign across the city to make the leader of the Midnight Marauders, the so-called Colonel Jose Vasquez, look absolutely ridiculous and a bitch.
A bitch.
Yeah, the bitch of Nexcore. And as all of this transpired, we returned to our party meeting back up at their safe house in the Shrouded Assembly controlled portion of the city. All of you have now come from your various disparate areas, and as you return to the room, you hear the small but angry voice of the goblin Chi-shi Day currently yelling at someone inside.
Oh no. So are we all outside essentially?
Yep. Yeah, you guys are all just outside the door basically.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn around. The party says, "I think I know what this might be about. I'm gonna head in there first."
You sure it's a good idea? She seems real scary when she's mad.
Does anyone know? What are you talking about?
Oh, On second thought, I may make it worse for him. Because he didn't do a very good job. When we were...
him?
Whom?
Lunys.
A good job at what?
We did some infiltration, and it didn't go extraordinarily well. And then I had him disguise himself as someone, and that also did not go extraordinarily well.
Oh, he's in trouble?
So I think he's probably in trouble.
Well, we're a party, so we should be in trouble with him. Guys, how is this any different from back home?
I mean, I guess.
We get yelled at like all the time for stuff.
That's true.
Hmm.
All right, well, we'll get it in there, I suppose.
Very well.
How is it that a man who can shapeshift into any person chose to do his infiltration mission looking like this? So you hear coming from inside as you open the door, and there's Lunys, his towering 7-foot-tall form, kneeling with his head hanging as a small goblin woman in a suit and greatcoat is chastising him.
Is he dressed as Lunys right
Yeah,
now?
oh yeah, he's in his normal
Yeah.
Lunys form,
Yeah.
the long cape and everything. I believe I have the quick image reference for people of Chi-shi Day and Lunys to show off.
Good evening, Chi-shi and Lunys.
She holds up a finger to you, Aurora, and goes, as she's still staring at Lunys, and goes, "What were you going to do after you attempted to walk into their territory looking like you're worth 1,000,000 credits? What was your plan, Lunys?"
I just want to know, Aurora turns around to the party and says, just like kind of like shakes her head like, yeah.
Nafisa's definitely giving the look of, oh, this is what it's like to be on the other side of these scoldings. Nafisa, don't lie. Nafisa, don't be so trusting. This is what it's...
Well, Lady Day, I was intending to provide a shining example of my prowess and strength to gird Lady Aurora and... Oh, that's it, is it? You have to show your prowess and strength. That's the first pillar of stealth and infiltration. Is that what I taught you, Lunys? Well, of course not, but I felt that given the context, you felt that her was going to be best served by you looking like this. And he just kind of mumbles something to himself. I don't even know what else to say right now, Lunys. You can sit there and think about what you did and think about all the times that I've told you to do better, because I am not interested in any more of your excuses, not tonight and not ever. And she stomps out of the room and slams the door behind her.
Bro got sent to his room and he doesn't even have a room to be sent to.
He's a grown-ass man.
I'm just having a low-key, like, PTSD trauma at a goblinoid scolding someone like that.
Oh, Eustace, what happened?
You see Lunys is, just his drooping head, and he just kind of looks up at you, and he's like tearing up.
Oh, come here. She'll extend her arms to him to give him a hug.
And he just kind of quickly wipes his eyes and goes, "Sorry, I think that there was some gunpowder in the air that got into my eyes right there. Irritants, the city is full of them."
I know what
Right.
to do.
I mean, if you're crying, that's okay.
No, I was not crying. I am a great hero. I was simply reflecting on my apparent rooms for improvement.
Kind of gives a
Heroes?
shrug. Heroes cry.
Yeah.
I probably would if I got that scolding.
Certainly.
You're a hero, Soleil?
I'm not using myself as the example here.
Don't make this about me. And he does still get the hug from Aurora, but
Hmm.
he will stand up and kind of brush his hand through his spiky hair and look at you guys and go, I did everyone else's prerogatives succeed?
Yes. Well, for me, please.
Oh, I have been burdened with the knowledge of making bombs, yes.
Wait, you know how to make bombs now?
Yes.
Huh.
When you say burden, do you mean like a really heavy book, or?
Well, I suppose more in the sense of when one is first given a weapon, having the knowledge that this is now something you are capable of and will have to reckon with that.
Oh, I see. She'll just touch her Giselle a little bit. Right, we should all catch up on what we were doing. Also, Soleil, Feng, and I, we had a good time talking to a clan song. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't cause us any issues if we go after the Marauders.
A good time is not exactly how I'd phrase it, but the conversation did go better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I think we
Unless
have
I-
Nafisa to thank for that.
Yes, you did quite well with that, Nafisa.
You got us to the door, Feng.
Oh. As
You-
the unofficial diplomat, I suppose that is simply a necessary job.
You can be official. But yeah, after that, we all split up to do our things. I went off to go look for any trace of the Vanyaskins. And I did find one lady. Her name is Mishka. She is she was oh, so this is bad for you. She was full of silver. So when we fight the Marauders, we'll have to be careful of that. And she was really hurt. I managed to help stabilize her, and then I left her with Clan Song. They had an alliance, so hopefully she'll be okay. And hopefully that'll mean any remnants of the Vanyaskins won't immediately attack us either.
All good news, minus the apparent quantities of silver bullets they seem to have.
As for myself, as you've gathered, me and Lunys went to the Marauders to essentially try and do some info gathering. Got a bit of heat at the gates because they thought that Lunys looked mighty wealthy.
I mean, he is, right?
Yeah, indeed, but did some quick thinking, got out of there, and then did some more scouting while we were disguised.
And what did you learn?
Unfortunately, in terms of scouting, most of my goal was to try and find out their patterns and guard routes so that way I could do what I was going to do later in the evening a bit better, which was, I suppose we have yet to see the efficacy of it, but there's now quite a lot of disparaging graffiti of the Colonel all throughout the entirety of the Midnight Marauders territory, linking him to being to being a bitch for next core. So I don't know what exactly it's going to do, but considering they're just working for the man because he pays them, maybe it'll sow a little discontent.
I think you'll certainly get someone's attention at the very least.
I mean, if he's mad in X-Rash, that also works very well.
True enough. Well, as for myself, I've kept Lasso in the loop of everything, let him know what we've been up to. I think, Nafisa, I may have gotten him off your case, so to speak. Haven't mentioned what you did in the negotiations. But, we could talk a bit more about that later, but myself and Andres, we've been working on getting everything back into shape, both the buildings and the people, so it won't be caught off guard again.
That's good.
Well, I figure the Marauders are the only choice, really.
I figure we should strike while the iron's hot.
So, dawn of next day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, I guess this is something else to catch y'all up on. I did tell the Eryxian refugees there that, they should be safe the next few days, considering that I expected something like this to happen. They should be spreading the word about that. Hopefully, it just reaches amongst themselves, but I just want to make sure they're safe.
Of course. An excellent idea. We needn't have more on our consciences than necessary.
Right. They,
Keep them safe, Aurora.
yeah. I don't think they're gonna like me much after tomorrow.
Why not? They don't like the Marauders, right?
No, they don't like Well, they seem to be accepting of their lot in life, so to say. But
So they don't want. So they don't want it, but they can't change it, so they're okay with it.
something of the sort. I learned it a little bit, and I know not many folks, especially in the UFAS, know much about Eryxian culture and hierarchies, and it was a hell of a lot of news for myself. But I think the basic idea is that it's better than being ruled under a mage, which is how Eryxia ran. It was just run by mages. I fucking hate them.
They sound like really bad mages. But I don't see what that has to do with you.
I mean, Nafisa, I'm a mage.
Yeah, but I'm a dragonborn and Lunys is a dragonborn, but I'm not as dorky as he is.
I am actually a dragon. I am not a dragonborn. There is a difference.
You see what I mean?
I mean, you're not wrong that a lot of those mages that ran the place were right proper fucking assholes. I had my own incident with one of them. But, I mean, I was born into the system to be a mage, and all that entails. So
I like to think that when all this is said and done, they'd still be appreciative of everything you did for them.
Mm.
But we
I-
can't know for certain. And I think, regardless, this is something you want to do for them anyway.
that's right. Even if they don't thank me, I'd still do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I've been trying to get their stories told for years. And this is the first time where I feel like I may actually have an impact. That's why I've been so away past few days, is trying to reconnect with them.
And we will do everything in our power to help such a story come to be.
Yeah. Oh. They deserve better than another tyrant.
I promise you, Aurora, we won't leave things worse than when we found them. And they'll know that. They'll see you and your work.
I don't know if I want them to see me.
Mm-mm. This party is going to have a big grand adventure, and that means everybody is going to look at us. Okay,
There's
so
not much we can do to persuade Nafisa otherwise. I advise
you-
accepting this.
No, I accept it. I know how she is, and
mhm.
honestly, it's better to believe that that will be the case than it is to dwell. I just can't help but dwell sometimes.
It's okay. We'll pick you up while you're dwelling, and by the time you'll finish dwelling, you'll notice that you're like really far ahead now. Okay, so we're all on for beating the shit out of the Marauders tomorrow morning, right?
Hell yeah.
Um, this might be the angry in me talking, but I want to go to that area where they're the most staffed, most strong, and break that first.
Right. Well, how to ensure that they come out of their fortifications?
Well, I mean, we aren't going to go knock on their door. I mean, like, where the Vanyaskins were all beaten? When I was over there, they were still really well armed, and that's where all of their forces are. Like, they're cream of the crop. So, I think tomorrow morning, next day, they won't expect four. Oh, no, I'm sorry, five, six idiots running at them.
I mean, no, you're probably right. All the people that were around the main body of the camp are pretty shit, to be honest.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
get rid of the good ones, leave only the shit.
would it be possible to sneak close enough to plant an explosive?
I could help you with that. I can be really sneaky if I want to be.
I was thinking, perhaps perhaps if it is early enough, maybe planting one, maybe on the roof or near the roof of the barrack, perhaps some load-bearing wall.
Like where they're stationed up there. Um, Out of character obs, I wasn't like particularly scouting, so this
Yeah.
wouldn't be like something I looked into. But is there like, would they have like, I don't know if armored vehicles are a thing in Nexus, or if they have
They
like
are.
any very
They are a thing.
clear. They are a thing. Did I see anyone else there?
No, you did not see any when you were there.
Okay,
Make a history check.
gotcha. This is a 17.
Okay. You did see while there wasn't like any tanks or anything around, there was a like converted mechanics building, that there was soldiers who were working on a very large suit of armor. But there doesn't appear to be any tanks or anything.
Share that information with the class. So I think if we were to put a bomb, we could go there. I could sneak in and put it in, and then get to a safe spot, and then you can do the thing where you tell it to go boom, and then Lunys and Soleil can run in while they're staggered, and then they can't put Silver and Soleil, and ping pong bam.
Yes, I think that would work. So I can potentially make one very large bomb as well as smaller grenades. Given the time crunch, though, I doubt I would be able to make both tonight. Is that fair to say, Alps?
Yeah, you don't have the time to do it if you wanted to still take a long rest.
It's okay. We will do what we can. Alright. So it sounds like tomorrow morning we wake up, we beat up the area up there to the north where the Vanyaskins used to be, and then if I'm no tactic person, we could ask Chi-shi, but if we're still feeling good, maybe we could clear out this area down south too. They'll be really weak down there. Around these bridges.
Bridges ain't very well guarded at all.
Ooh, imagine how pissed off he'll be when he wakes up and then he sees like all the art you did about him being a little bitch. And I read this term in a book recently, bottoming, and after he'll wake up and then hear the news, oh no, you lost my best soldiers. Okay, I better reinforce the bridge, and by the time he's there, it's like, oh, it's all gone.
I don't see what. Never mind. Are you okay with? This is going back a little bit, Nafisa, but are you okay with using an explosive? I mean,
Well,
that's probably going to kill people.
That's why I'm going to put it. I'm going to try to. Well, I mean, Fung, you can tell me how big it is, right?
It depends, but if the plan is to try to dismantle whatever that armor you saw was, then it would be a fairly powerful explosion on par with the fireball spell, I believe. It would also require a fair amount of my energy, roughly 3 spells worth.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought we'd we could also use it as a distraction, but that could be wasteful. Fung?
I could also make the smaller grenades. I imagine the inside of whatever powered armor that was is significantly less armored than the outside.
I trust you, Fung.
Yeah. You know what we want, and you know what you're making. So tell any of us where to put it, and we'll put it there, okay? And whatever happens, we will deal with it together.
Okay. Let's see. So I could potentially spend some time now and still get a full rest worth. It says grenades cost 50 credits each to make, and 1 hour of crafting can create up to efficiency bonus, so that'll be 3 grenades.
That's good.
So out of character, I can do 3d6 fire, 3d4 thunder, or 3d8 piercing. What are we thinking would be the best option for For the power armor, at
If
least.
you're looking to destroy an inanimate object, it's thunder.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My concern was that it's also the lowest raw damage before any kind of vulnerability gets involved.
We can't risk it having resistance to piercing or resistance to fire. And I mean, like, if you low roll on it anyways, it won't really matter what type you pick, so
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think we have to worry more about resistances.
Either way.
Yeah.
Bung, make a history check.
Okay. 19.
From what Nafisa was describing, this armored suit sounds like it was probably one of the newer, maybe not the newest, but a newer generation military weapon known as an Aegis suit, the Armored Environmental Ground Interdiction suit, which are fairly large suits of heavily enchanted neck steel powered armor. It is very likely resistant to slashing, piercing, bludgeoning. As just you're not. This is obviously you're not a military grade engineer, but you know just from some of the things you've read in your popular mechanics magazines that is likely a quality of it.
Yeah, I've been on the War Thunder forums.
Yep.
Just Fung ignoring a wanted ad for Lockheed Martin.
Alright, well, given the armors, the general idea of what I've seen of armors like this, the mundane damages of physical weaponry, that sort, would hardly be effective. I think, let's see, I think I would like to spend 150 credits worth.
Okay, to get 3 grenades.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's do 2 thunder and 1 fire, I think.
Okay.
Let's see. And are these pull the pin style, or
Yeah,
are they?
They're pull the pin throw.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure to. I'll make sure that it's very clear as such.
All right. Sounds like we all should be getting some rest then.
I think I kind of feel like they look like little incense jars.
That's cute.
They smell
That's
very
cute,
good.
she said to the weapon of mass destruction.
They smell very good for bombs.
Lunys, are you gonna be okay sleeping tonight?
Of course, I will be just fine. I will wrap myself in the potential glory that we will reap in tomorrow, and that shall nestle me to sleep on the sweetest of triumphs.
Okay. I just know you lent me your dog when I was really sad, so I can lend you Nyx if you're really sad.
I am not very sad. The offer is not needed.
Okay, but in case there's like a part of you that's really sad, I'm going to tell this. We get scolded like a lot. Back at the your mom's house. I am blanking on our handler's name. I'm so sorry.
Chi-shi?
Zelik. Zelik. Oh my god, I literally said it. We get scolded a lot by Zelik, and I thought doing things Hardaway would make it better and make it her like me, but we got the most success by just doing what we do best. So don't worry too much about today. Just be a hero and save us and look really cool, and Chi-shi will totally praise you and give you one of those stickers you like.
What did you say? One of those Snickers?
Stickers.
Stickers.
I'm just spitballing that. I think he likes the gold star stickers.
I will take that into consideration.
Okay. With that, good to go to bed.
Okay. Do the girls form their cuddle puddle?
Yes. Our unionized cuddle puddle. Yes, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say
Union from-
minus Fung, who is working on making bombs.
Oh, I mean, it only takes an hour. I can knock that out before bed just fine.
As you guys are snuggling in, Fung is pouring powders and liquids into, little containers next to you guys. Do you have to be making
Soleil.
explosives in bed?
Invite Slay to the snuggle pile.
Well, he's always welcome to the snuggle pile.
We'll make sure to have union negotiations when all parties are awake and able.
I mean, he's probably awake. We can.
It hardly feels a time now.
All right. As you guys head to the cuddle puddle, Lunys is going to kind of slump against a wall in the other room. Just look out the window.
I think as the union is unionizing, Soleil will take this opportunity to approach Lunys.
Ah, Soleil, what is it you require?
Look, can we talk?
You are always welcome to speak.
But you may not listen. Is that it?
I have yet to evaluate the merit of your words.
Ooh.
Yeah, fair enough. He'll kind of slide down the wall to a seating position next to Lunys. I've been thinking about what we said this morning. And I want to apologize. I said a lot of stuff I shouldn't have. Even if I meant it at the time, I still shouldn't have said it.
He looks at you and then looks away for a moment and goes, "You are right to apologize."
Well, I get it right every once in a while. It's a rare moment.
I suppose that even you can sometimes see reason.
You can scold me all you like, but much as I dislike to admit it, you got it right too. About me. The things you said.
He sighs and goes, "I believe there," as he looks at the door, he goes, "I believe there's been enough scolding for one night. I understand that it can be difficult to hear an outsider's summation as to your character as a person, and it was perhaps wrong of me to bring it up in front of your mate and your companions."
My what now?
Your mate, Lady Aurora.
Oh, no. It's she's not my mate.
He sniffs you and goes, "Ah, I can see that. There's other odors about you."
So he kind of sniffs himself.
It's
lingering sense of Andres on his
it's
person.
Very subtle sense of Andres. Perhaps only because he's a dragon that he could detect it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's neither here nor there. I shouldn't have said what I said in front of them either. If anything, we should have settled this personally. I know that you and I are never gonna agree on everything. I think we're just a little too different for that. But you're right. I am tired. I've been trying to be something I'm not. I thought it would make them happy to be a gentler kind of person. It's not what I'm good at, and it's not what I am. So, I think you'll be pleased to know that come tomorrow, I won't be pretending anymore.
He nods and puts a hand on your shoulder. You feel that, despite him wearing full plate, the actual sensation of him touching you is very organic feeling. Very kind of like an abrasively hardened organic. And he goes, "Excellent. We shall channel that to great feats of glory and triumph tomorrow. If it is any consolation, Soleil, there is no happiness or appeasement in deception and lies. It is simply delaying heartbreak. Find truth to be your shield, and to be the armor that protects your heart."
That is awfully poetic of you, Lunys.
He lets out a big ha. I am quite well read, and I can assure you that when Garasu the paladin said those words to his faithful companion before their battle at Mount Terror, that it was as true then as it is now.
That make me your faithful companion, then?
Perhaps we can begin the screening process.
Screening process? Well...
You think I will simply allow any ne'er-do-well and ruffian to be my squire?
Squire, certainly not. I was kind of hoping to be kind of on equal footing with you, but... I'm not going to be polishing that armor of yours.
There's no need, and his armor gets like 6 times brighter as it's like being illuminated from within. Just like the entire room becomes like a disco strobe of color coming off of him in a flashbang
You hear from
effect.
the other world,
You just
from
see,
the other room, the girls complaining.
You just see the lights from Soleil's eye sockets just like shrink down like to pinpoints as it gets flashbanged. Just noted. But if I can be serious for a mite longer, I'm gonna be counting on you tomorrow. If it's true what Nafisa reported, that they're stocked to the gills with silver and silver bullets, I'm gonna need someone to look after my back. And there's no one I'd rather trust than a man with a big shield.
But I use a spear.
Your body's the shield, buddy.
Ah, so you actually mean you'll be looking after my back because I'll be in front of you, getting all of the glory.
You know what? If that's the exchange, I'm okay with it. I think if anyone deserves the glory, it should be you.
Oh, come now, I'm sure I can spare some for you as well. I believe that you can contribute as long as you embrace your truth.
I'll do my best then. I'll try.
To fellow warriors, as he extends out a hand to you.
He'll clasp it firmly, give it a shake.
Tomorrow will be truly incredible. I look forward to having you at my side.
And you mine. May the glory be shared tomorrow.
And he will take out his little box mimic and put it down in front of it, like in his lap, and it, little feet extend from it as it hops along on his lap, and he picks it up in his hands and puts it on your lap. And you see like 7 eyes open up and stare up at you from this little box.
Well, hello there. He'll sort of extend a little finger towards the box.
The box opens up and it's full of like jaggedy serrated teeth, but also like a really long tongue that it like will extend over and wrap around your finger.
I don't know if I'll ever quite get used to this, but it's kind of cute in its own way.
Jelavantasir is my faithful companion. It has served alongside me for many years.
Will they be joining us tomorrow then?
They will be safely in my custody, but I imagine they will have some opportunity to feed after we finish liberating the region.
Yeah, it'll probably be eating pretty good if we are successful.
I'd use this as a gauge of your character. It seems that Jello is found you to be worthy, and so, accordingly, the final test is completed for tomorrow.
Oh, is this the first step in your vetting process?
Indeed. Jello is a great judge of character.
He'll look to the little mimic in his lap, just, well, thank you kindly, Jello.
Jello will basically pull itself by its tongue and just kind of wrap its fangy maw around your finger. And it's like very much like when a cat is play biting you.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm picturing, where it kinda hurts, but
Yes.
it's not super bad.
And yeah, as it play bites you, eventually Lunys will go and pick it up, and it just hear that slobbery sucking sound as your finger is removed, and there's some little holes on it from where teeth clipped into it, and it's quite gooey. But Jello then goes back into his lap and kind of just goes very much like with Omega, just kind of turns into a pile of goop and on Lunys's lap as its eyes all kind of close very very serenely. Well, I believe that you must rest and preserve your strength for tomorrow.
Yeah. He'll kind of peer around into the other room, see the union forming and Feng busy working on her explosives, and he'll kind of lean against the wall where he's at, cross his arms over his chest, goes, "I'm pretty comfortable here, if you don't mind."
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was still awake. Can I roll to see if I heard any of this?
Sure, make a perception check. At
Nat
minimum,
20.
you've heard it all. Lunys was easy to hear regardless because he only shouts. He speaks in caps lock. But you also could hear Soleil and the slurping of Jello.
Oh God.
Oh,
What are you gonna do with that information, Fung?
Just gonna make a note of that. Gonna jot that down to bring up.
Stored in the union
Yeah.
files.
Yeah, to bring up in the meeting tomorrow to
no.
talk about
The
minute.
union meeting.
Yeah.
Me as the reason that the union formed, like, please let this puppy be happy. Bring him in here. Let him be cute.
As you nestle in, Lunys will say, "Thank you for apologizing. I appreciate that it must have taken a lot from you."
Listen, I may be an idiot, but I do know a thing or two about when my idiocy reaches a certain limit. And more to the point, you're a good guy, Lunys. And I would much rather have you as a friend.
He gives you a fangy smile as he nestles in like a dog, curling up in a ball. "Good night, Soleil."
Not Lunys.
As his tail starts slowly swishing and as he's going to sleep. You didn't even notice the door opening, but Chi-shi has re-entered the room, and she looks at you two. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at you two and goes to like lean against a wall opposite you guys.
Obviously, she can't see facial expressions, so
Yep.
Soleil just gives her a little thumbs up.
She just nods. And make an insight check, Soleil.
16.
You could tell that she also looks a bit emotionally drained.
Worried about her boy. I get it.
You know, I think I would bring up at least one thing, though.
Okay.
What was that about being yourself?
You asking Soleil this?
Yes.
As she creeps out of the union room.
I think that it's just... things will go a lot smoother if I do what I do best.
And what would that be?
Kill him before I get killed. Or any of you, for that matter.
I'm afraid that simply won't do. As a member of the Union, it is in part my own duty to ensure the happiness of those in it, and that would most certainly cause Aurora no shortage of grief.
Look, I know that y'all have your opinions on the matter. But the fact of the matter is that this is what I do. I hunt. And I can't change that.
Does hunting strictly mean killing?
You can't very well let a wounded deer go back out in the wild. It's a waste. It's cruel.
I don't deny that we will most certainly be partaking in that ourselves as well.
I wouldn't ask you to.
I wouldn't allow you to do so on your own. That truly is reaching above your station. You are a good dog, after all.
Probably the best, which is why if y'all point me in the right direction, I'll get this done.
Do not think that you will be doing this. Not even alone. Don't think that you will get away with doing this without our consistent meddling. You may be a dog, but you at best be working in a pack.
This is true. So I'll be counting on y'all to, as I mentioned to Lunys, I'd rather not get shot up.
Oh yes, I recall from the last time.
So y'all look after me and I'll look after you.
Yes, that sounds much more reasonable in exchange.
Just don't look at me any different.
Any different than what?
I like being a good guy.
And despite your sincere belief to the contrary, you continue to be one.
I think there are some people who might think differently, but
And there are some people that might think perhaps Laszlo is the least of all the evils here. There are some people who might think that any of the other factions are the correct and proper choice. But I simply do not care about what others may believe. Right now, I am here to simply tell you that you are, in fact, a good man. And a good boy on top of that. And until I see you acting to the contrary, I intend to insist on reminding you thusly. Do I make myself clear?
yes, ma'am. Though you might have to remind me again in the future.
Of course. I am well aware of the value of proper and enthusiastic affirmations in training such a strong thoroughbred as yourself.
Thank you, Fung. You certainly have a way with words to make a guy feel special.
I try. Perhaps we should best both head to bed for now, though.
I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you then.
All right. As you head to sleep, everyone begins to get their snoozes in for the night. And before you wake up in the morning, Soleil,
Yes.
we know that as a fae, you don't dream,
Correct.
but you do remember. And this night, as you sleep, you remember a painful time in your life. You're a teenager now, just got back from your first, and prior to when your grandmother spoke to you, your only other time in the material plane. And the last time you saw your father. What's Soleil doing and feeling?
Returning back from this particular trip, he should feel a multitude of things. He should feel sad. He should feel grief. He should feel love, that there was so much love to give in this family, and that the passing of someone hurt so much out of that love. Mostly, though, he just feels angry. And without a good means to channel this, I think he just starts to wander off from the rest of his family, his mother's, and find some way to blow off some steam, whether it, do some sword work, or honestly, no, I think he would go to probably the forest's edge and see if he can just find some easy prey, because even the swordsmanship just reminds him too much of Kai-shan.
Now here's the question. One of the last things your father gave you as before he left this world was his Rodai, one of the swords that is his bond to his clan, of which you are the only living member of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that on you, or did you leave that in your room?
I do think he left it in his room. I don't think he has it on his person at this time.
Okay. Make a quick survival roll.
That's a nat 1. I am too upset.
Yeah, perhaps it really is the frustration of all of your emotions hitting you, the rage, but as you're trying to stalk through the woods, it's some fey creature for you to rend apart and feel its multicolored blood splatter upon you and just not think after everything. You just can't. You as you approach a creature that looks like the cross between a geode and some kind of bovine with great rock horns, and its hooves are these like crystalline structures with its bright green cat's eyes and its dappled coat of purple and green and blue. You just let out this animalistic screeching roar as you're trying to pounce on it. The creature just looks at you and it disappears in a burst of light and smoke at your approach, as fey creatures are wont to do when they are aware of something stalking them. And as you sit there in a small clearing, alone, and frankly, no real outlet for you, you feel for only the briefest moment, a kind of thundering set of footsteps coming from behind you, perhaps only 5 feet behind you, which is impossible considering how large they sound. How could something that big be able to sneak up on you? And you hear a deep voice that kind of makes you tense up and your muscles freeze, and you smell this incredibly heady, musky pheromones that make your hair stand on edge, and you feel like the only thing you can do in this moment is to try and run, but your muscles won't let you. As if you are a very weak thing that has found itself in the sights of something that is impossible to escape. And you hear,
Soleil, what seems to trouble you so?
I imagine this like very visible, visceral, just shudder just crawls up his spine as he slowly turns around, even though every instinct is telling him to flee, to face this being.
you see this 12-foot tall giant, enormous spiked antlers stretching out of a deep cavernous hood that only is blackness with just 2 great shining, one green and one blue cat's eye. Its form is hulking and muscular, covered in leathers depicting scenes of fleeing prey and ravenous predators pursuing them, covered in these intricate fey tattoos of glowing green and blue. 4 arms, 2 are gargantuan taloned claws. The other 2 are more smaller, delicate human ones clutching a enormous hunting spear. Its legs are kind of back bending, much like some kind of canine or feline with great claws stretching out of them. This form is just this enormous creature built for violence, built for combat. And from that inky blackness of its enormous hood, the eyes just look down at you and say,
You seem to be flailing at your hunt.
and you
Lord.
recognize this to be, of course, almost your fairy godfather in a way, the King Oberon of the Wild Hunt Court of the Fae, the master of your mother, the Hound Master, and one of the great Archfey regents of this realm.
Lord Oberon. I merely sought to... I just needed to get out for a moment to... just to... And he sort of grits his teeth a little bit to feel something between my teeth.
An understandable and noble pursuit, young Soleil. But you have forgotten my lessons. This is no way to hunt your prey and slake your thirst for their blood.
I'm distracted. I know I can't even smell anything right now.
Indeed, you're covered with the reek of the material plane. You and your mothers journeyed there. Why?
My father, he. And you see, even as he is trying so hard to put on any semblance of a brave front, these hot, angry tears start welling in his eyes. My father's dead.
I see. The warrior has finally fallen.
He didn't have to, though.
No, he did not.
Mama made him an offer. She would have been so good to him, like she always is. And he didn't even think about it. Didn't even read it. Just went back.
Unsurprising. Your father had nothing but disdain for this world.
He bristles even further at that. We still could have been happy.
It
But
did
you're right.
not seem that there was much that made your father happy at all.
You're right. You're right. He made his choice. And he decided he'd rather be with his dead family than the living one.
I will never understand why mortals would choose to simply die when they could revel and fight and live forever here. He was such a fool for that.
You'd think that he would stay, that he would be happy here. He was a warrior himself. After all the things that he had seen and done and accomplished, but everything about this place just. He kind of looks down at his hands. They're kind of shaking. I haven't joined a hunt in a long time. Because he didn't agree with it.
Oberon will crouch down and extend out his more delicate humanoid hands and wrap them around your shaking hands, and they feel so strong and certain as he holds you. As that blackness of his hood with his glowing eyes kind of just fills your vision. And he says,
Well, there is nothing to hold you back now.
No. I guess not. I mean, you know the abilities that I have. You practically gave them to me. The first time I changed, he looked at me like I was something to be ashamed of. It was then that he started training me to be a fighter like him. And I will remember every lesson he ever taught me. And I will never forget how he looked at his son that day.
Now there is no one who can judge you for what you are. The Fae are beings dictated by their nature. You do not have to resent what you are. You do not have to conceal your nature. You do not have to be ashamed of what you can do and what you can achieve.
and one of his enormous claws extends out, and you see a bit of fey magic as falcons and hawks made of green and blue energy course out of his hand and form this large skull with like skull-like mask debris. It's hard to say. And he holds it out in front of you and says,
You do not have to be ashamed of what you were born to be. As long as you wear this, you will know what you truly are. And you are mine.
He'll take the mask and look up in the pitch black nothingness of Oberon's visage. You would welcome me back.
Of course. You are a part of my hunt. Do you wish to ride with me?
He'll pause a moment. The skull feels light. It's not as heavy as he thought. Certainly lighter than his father's Rodai. And he places the mask on his face. When do we ride?
Soon, my child, soon. Come, let us revel together.
And he'll follow him.
This is the beginning of a glorious hunt.
And with that, he will lead you out of the clearing. And the next morning comes. The sunlight goes through the windows. And you feel that mask still pressing against your face as you blink awake, once again in the material plane. And you feel maybe it was the memory, or perhaps it was just the connection to King Oberon. But you can feel, you can smell that reek of the material plane all around you. And you feel it all over you once again.
Ugh. Wake up, not rested at all, and stinky.
That's
Ugh,
fucked up.
that's fucked up.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Sentence you to stinky. But all right, as you wake up and the rest of your party does as well, we shall end things here tonight. I know it was a shorter stream, but life gets in the way, and late starts are the cross we have to bear for that. So we will be picking up next time as we actually begin some combat, hopefully,
Woo!
as our heroes finally start striking back against their enemies and taking back this town for their orc daddy.
That's what we're doing it for.
Oh,
Sure.
woo.
Ooh, woo. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. You can give me a sub over on YouTube, where I have the every session of this campaign as well for your viewing pleasure, as well as the hit campaign Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, which features none other than Soleil's parents and all the trauma leading into this.
Go
So
watch Ashes.
watch Ashes of the Last War. And meet Oberon again.
Yes, all
And
over
be mad,
again.
yeah, be mad at him all over again.
Yep. And you can follow me on Blue Sky, and you can also join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. You should also go check out all of my wonderful players, all certified good beans in their own right. And they are also running their own campaigns. Literally all of them are running at least one campaign. And so go support them as well. That'll be it for our streams for the week. I might do some more streams next week, simply because Yuko is going to be out of town before I fly off to Vegas to go be with them. So stay tuned for that as a potential update. But yeah, I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoyed spending your evening with us nearly as much as we enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is that the world is better having you in it. With that in mind, we are gonna go raid my friends Zom in their Zelda campaign, D&D campaign that they're running for. They're on 74 episodes.
I mean, that's only like double hours.
Yeah, no
Look
big
at
deal. Ashes was only 65. I feel so emasculated.
Good, I hope you
The
would.
force femming finally working out. If you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs message that Sif posted, and if you're a sub, please copy down the Knights message. that'll be it for our stream. I hope you guys are having fun. I love these poor traumatized gay beans, so stay tuned for next time as I continue to hurt them, this time more physically than emotionally.
Woo! Hooray!
Have a good night, everybody. Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.